We are talking legacy. We are talking spirit. Can you hear it calling? We are talking namesake, lineage, fathers on daddies and daddies on fathers. We have so much to discuss today. I would like to welcome you to the episode 2 dissection of HBO Max, Lovecraft Country. J.J. Abrams, Jordan Peele, and of course the writer-director Misha Green, adapted from the book series from H.P. Lovecraft, who then spurred the novel by Matt Ruff in 2016, Lovecraft Country. This is a big one. This is episode 2. Like I don't even know what to do, y'all. This is episode 2. So welcome, settle in. I am JustLatasha. We have a big conversation. Welcome my folks in the room. Hey, Shenandoah. Hey, Cali girl. I see y'all here. I suspect, I suppose, I hope people didn't get lost. Let me just say, I fucked up this week. I fucked up big this week, okay? I was working ahead. I had to do so many things. So on Thursday, what had happened was I streamed to what this was supposed to be. I streamed to the wrong video. And so then I had to go back on Patreon and put the new link out, which is this video. So I'm praying people didn't get lost. I hope people do have the right link. I deleted the old link just to make sure there's no double, you know what I mean? So I hope people do show up. I hope people find this video. I tried to control it best way I can. I did a lot this week. I did a lot wrong, but y'all found it. So hopefully it wasn't that bad, right? Welcome. My birthday is next Saturday. I may not be here for Boozy Brunch Sunday next Sunday. I imagine a strong hangover. I imagine a desirability to have a break. I imagine wanting to lay my chocolate, melanated, beautiful ass down. You know, it wouldn't be so bad to do like 3 videos a week if the video subject, the video matter wasn't so heavy, if there wasn't such a large preparation. This literally takes a day or 2 to do. So, and that's not a complaint. I just want y'all to know why I be really wanting to lay my ass down and why I was so overloaded last week where all the links were getting fucked up because my brain was on overload. So it's looking like break time. It's really looking like it. Especially, you know, a big birthday is here for me. So I just want to make sure I'm being healthy while giving the content that I love to do. And I know we in the pandemic, but it's still the weekend. People still want to go outside. People still want to see their friends. We had so many new patrons, which I imagine to watch on the rewatch. Because this room still be so small. And we had a ton of new patrons. So I expected to see so many new names. But look, they gonna get it when they get it. They paid for the content. They get to have it. That's it. We do got some strong people in here. I wanna welcome y'all and thank y'all for being here. Let's do it. All right. Dissection. We are on the moon. Whitey's on the moon. A poem by Gil Scott-Heron. Activist, poet, powerful voice during the 60s. And this is an integral poem to the occurrences of this episode. So what happens in this episode? Let's just dive right in. Episode 1 left us at the discovery of the Great White Mansion in Artem. We are here to find Tick's father, Montrose. We are also here to discover what lineage, what bloodline gift his mother has left him. This is also a place of his mother's heritage. So we are here to discover the physical father and the metaphorical mother. I didn't even know I was going to do that. I didn't even know, but sometimes you got to revisit it so much that it just keeps uncovering layers. You know what I mean? Hi, Iana, welcome. Um, and when we open up, this is the next day, waking up to joy and tick and rain, but more so than none, joy comes in the morning, overlaid by the song, and we're moving on up. The theme, the famous theme of the Jeffersons being, an ode to Black TV, an ode to moving on up. The Jeffersons was a show about an inner city Black family coming into a lot of money, moving into the high rise, into a white neighborhood. West 63rd Street ain't nothing to play with, especially back then. That was white affluence. So the Jeffersons moving on up, literally uptown to that kind of neighborhood, signifies a lot. And of course, also as a TV show, giving love to the past. And their rooms are catered to them. Uncle George got all the books he wanted. It's not Letitia, it's Letitia motherfucking Lewis. Got all the clothes she wants. She liked to wear pants. That's a woman after my own heart. Put the pants on. You know what I mean? Hey, Kaylin, how are you? Kaylin Glenn. Hey. And I don't know if Atticus's room is not catered to him versus him not being bothered to look around. But Atticus is in a different state of mind. He is stuck in the trauma of what happened yesterday. Meeting those monsters, fighting that battle, surviving near-death experiences with both monsters of the white race and monsters of the underground, right? He's stuck in that trauma. And you can mirror this to Black people being hesitant when we do get good things. Because we didn't experience too much to just fall for the okie doke. We don't have trust of good fortune, of good abundance. We're like, the other shoe going to drop. And I've spoken to so many Black people who feel like that when good things happen. They're afraid to exhale because something around that corner. It got to be around that corner, right? This is the Black experience. And here, the directorial's eye, we are shooting him from an overhead angle, showing that Atticus is at a loss of power. He has to submit to something. He has to submit to someone. Someone is overpowering him. And we lean into that with this prison-like shot. It's giving jail. And I knew that on first watch. I was like, it's giving jail. So let's see what's going on. Let's meet William Braithwaite. I'm not going to say that last name right at all. Braithwaite. And he says this very triggering thing that white people say to Black people: we'll treat you like family. We heard that from the Armitages. I think Jordan Peele be reworking his work into his new work, because that was very Armitage, very Get Out. You know what I mean? Treat you like family. And putting on a directorial eye yet again, Atticus allying with the white William Braithwaite, while his Black family fades to the back. They're not in the same depth of field, not in the same focus. Whenever we speak to William, they're in focus. Whenever the Black folk in the back speak, they go blurred or they focus. And you show the disconnection and distinction of the bloodlines. It's not revealed why yet, but that was a visual clue to more storytelling. So let's meet why Atticus is aligned with Will. We are meeting Titus Braithwaite. It's all right, y'all. Y'all can come in when y'all want. Morally Grage is here, who says, Atticus was me. I ain't trust that house. Look, we was born at night. We wasn't born last night. Don't give me the okie doke. What's up, L? Welcome to the room, LB. Titus Braithwaite, here memorialized on this wall, is the founder of Artem, giving colonialism, taking over land, and the owner and builder of the mansion. Let's look at this cloak, because it's clearly giving KKK. It's giving the hood, it's giving the badges, it's giving the cultism, the elitism, right? And it said that he built the lodge for him and his friends to eat in private. And let me tell you something. How he even got how he even got this lodge and this mansion, how he even amassed this fortune was by shipping, which Letty said, look, that's slave. They said they sold slaves. Okay, not playing no games. When you said you want to eat in private, it's been coming up in history talk lately that the masters used to eat the slaves, cannibalism. eating the body of which they owned. Cannibalism, right? And I really didn't like that the story William is telling is that he built it. Did he build it? They said in episode 1, they reminded you who built the White House. White people ain't built a White House, just like they ain't built them pyramids, just like they ain't built all these amazing structures across the world. The slaves, the black folk, the original black people built these incredible places, right? But who gets to take the credit? I would slap you in the teeth. Stop playing with me and my ancestors, right? And William says he was so kind. He was very kind. He was known to be so kind to his people. And how he died, and visually, literally standing over a fire. There was an original fire, a fire that burned the original mansion. This is the rebuild. This is the second coming. I surprised myself because we're gonna need that. We're gonna need that phrase later. This is the second house. The original house built was burned by a fire, killed him and everybody inside. And isn't this exactly the flip side of the last episode? Remember they were trying to eat in that diner, and that diner was the rebuild. It was the new White House because there was a fire for that old Lydia serving black folk. How dare she serve black folks? So they burned it on down. The fire returns. The fire returns. Elle said, they called us savages. Courtney peeped it. The fire is coming up a lot. It sure is. It absolutely is. We on the flip side. Whip out. Y'all remember that song? Flip side. And this stupid dance that we did. I was killing that dance at the club, though. You couldn't hold me. Let's get to eat. Anybody hungry? We're going to eat our fine breakfast here. Letty enjoying herself. George trying to just be like, look, you stressing out there, Neff? I really like the positioning of this red octopus on the table that Letty's about to get down and chew on, all right? The sign of the Cthulhu, that big octopus with wings, flying monster. One of the first things we saw in the premiere of this series. This is a sign of the Cthulhu, what's to come, right? Family don't even know what happened. Thank you, A. Barty, for knowing that song. Family don't even remember what had happened. Letty remembers, okay, there was racist sheriffs, so what is you talking about? And Tick is like, there was bigger monsters we had to worry about. Do nobody know what's going on? I read an article that had such a beautiful point of view about this, that said, this mirrors the Black experience, how we suppress trauma, we disconnect from it, we shove it down, we forget what happens, right? We shroud ourselves in the good thing because we got to put that away, right? So much so that the experience, it dies. I don't remember. I don't even know. There's so many people that tweet. I didn't even realize this was like a problem until I thought about it again, or until I spoke about it. I didn't even realize that it was that bad. This is what we do as ourselves to satiate, to comfort ourselves, right? And what Uncle George said, he said, play nice. Black people ain't allowed to fight. We're not allowed to be angry. Tick knows they're under attack. Tick knows these white folks are wilding. Tick knows that there's something wrong. And George said, play nice. They watching. Code switching. When you got to go into that all white space in order to survive and be well, even when they not treating you right, play nice. Look, they watching. Calm down. We're not afforded the space to defend ourselves, rightfully so. Shenandoah, come on, color theory. They all have on the primary colors, which is the foundation for all the colors as we learn more about this world. In conjunction with all the painting references, we as the audience don't get the luxury of picking the colors and painting the picture we want to see. Well, shit. Damn, Shenandoah. Look. Kaylin said, at least I'm in the big house. So Letty said, she said, well, I'm going to eat. Y'all go ahead and talk about what y'all want to talk about. Well, let's get into town. Why we not moving, baby? What happened? All right, here we go. Let's get into town. We have this structure that the children are tied to, playing with, mirroring tradition, mirroring burning of the women or burning the witches, getting a little Christ, little Christ burned at the stake, hung to the stake, right? That body form. And this is the thing. This is the misassumption that racism is going to die with old age. Look at these children being groomed to hunt and burn and spin. It's play. Hunting, this massive structure, is play. So who will they be when they become adults? What are they being groomed into? They're groomed into witch hunters. We will hunt the women. We will hunt, right? Well, it's all right, Elle. Welcome. What's up, Tia? Look, let's meet the sheriff, who's kind of not a sheriff, but let's meet the groundskeep. Who, when Tick is trying to address his family and say, I'm not crazy from the war, there's something going on and y'all not privy to it, right? A whistle blows. A whistle blows when Atticus fights for his truth, right? And this sheriff, this groundskeep, does something. She does something real nasty here. You don't look like Braithwaite guests. Braithwaite guests. I'm going to say it right soon. Watch. We get animals coming to the village. We got black bears coming to the village. Yeah, the blacks ain't smart, putting their noses where they don't belong, snooping around. We don't like the blacks. This is a covert racist language called whistleblowing, AKA dog whistling. She is dog whistling, right? And she don't back off. She doesn't calm down. Her and her attack dogs do not calm down until they notify her of who they belong to. Okay, you good now. Oh, we guests of the Braithwaites. Oh, you they property. Oh, I respect you because you belong to them. Hmm? And these people, from William to this woman, gaslighting Tick and his family the whole time. I don't know where your daddy is. Unfortunately, I don't know. Right? Right? This is exactly how white people get to perform covert racism under the radar. And this whistle is the same whistle that communicates to the monsters. This is how white people speak to each other. This is how white people communicate to the monsters, the dogs, the Cthulhus, the Shoggoths. It's dog whistling. We gonna speak to each other right in front of your face and act like you don't know what's going on. The overseer. Thank you, Elle. Look, I thought this was a sign. We hanging pigs. Who used to hang back in the day? I was just like, are the pigs? We could look forward to some pigs being slaughtered, hanging. I don't know. I thought it was a sign. So let's get into Uncle George, who has this sudden memory. He gets into the wood. First of all, Tick, why is you outside at sundown? We know what sundown do. Tick was crazy for this one. You couldn't caught me down to the dark outside. After the things I didn't see, why is you outside? But anyway, let's get back into Uncle George, who gets a sudden memory of being in these woods, remembering the ancestors of Tick's mother, whose name was Hannah, an enslaved Black woman, who George remembers from the stories listening to Tick's mother, escaped to Master's house after a fire. Through them woods. After that fire, Hannah, you can assume, is directly tied to the murder of Titus. And after Titus was being so kind to his servants, we can understand that she was running away with Titus's child. It's giving President Jefferson that Black lineage and that white lineage, because he was down to the shack in the back with the Black women and then laying up with the white women in the house. He got two bloodlines, right? And this is exactly how he can be triggered with the memory, because this is how Black people used to share their stories of their history, of their lineage, by word of mouth. This is how we continued centuries of knowing who we are, because we spoke those stories to our offspring, who spoke those stories to their offspring, the original storytelling. Especially during slavery, when you can't read and write, you're not allowed to read and write. How do you remember who you are? Through telling these stories. Elle said Atticus refused to read the room all day. Really? I felt the opposite. I thought he was not taking his pressure. He was not releasing his foot off their neck. Shenandoah, Uncle George can't walk and talk. Look, he got bad knees. All right, he got bad knees. The memory came over him, but he should have. Shoggoths arrive and called off by what again? The dog whistle. Who blew it? We meet Christina Braithwaite coming back with the overseer. And it's so funny because even though they represent two realms, right? Tick has to fight two monsters. He has to fight racist white people, and he has to fight these literal monsters. These two women are the same. You have Christina protecting two Shoggoths, and you have the overseer, not protecting, but controlling two Shoggoths, and you have the overseer controlling two guard dogs. They identical. Just two realms of fight, right? Two women protecting white supremacy and property. And even though their whiteness aligns them, their money divides them. Overseas is under the control of Christina. It's her land, huh? They both calling off their attack dogs, playing ally. Oh, virginal white lady femininity. Oh, I got you, niggers. I got you. And right away, the family forgets again. So we on to something. We are on to something. Enter Samuel Braithwaite, removing an organ, aka removing that rib, giving biblical symmetry. And to me, these are magical wizards. These are technologically advanced, got all the money in the world, so advanced, but they so primitive, not using no spells, not using no medicinal help, going straight for the body, cutting it out raw. For what? For what? You have to think of something. You got to think of something, right? They just came into the town. They saw this big stone tower. And Letty said, if your daddy's in there, after all them dogs is barking, you cannot hear him scream. You can't hear nobody scream from a tower like that, right? You have them running from Shoggoths, running from sheriffs. You have the Freeman surviving to avoid pain. And he's doing this to himself intentionally. It's giving white privilege. I'm oppressed as well, likewise, right? You got Samuel Braithwaite screaming in his own stone house when Tick's father might be screaming down to the dungeon in the town. One needing help, needing survival, one inflicting his own pain. And I also have included a real Grand Wizard of the KKK, because fuck that guy, I ain't blurring nobody's goddamn face. Look at they suits. That's down to the T. And these rich, fortunate Braithwaites think they different. They don't claim the KKK. They look down on them. Listen, the 1% of the elite in America is KKK with funds. It's KKK with a bank account. Like, hey, Barty said, it's Fitz. The president is back. The president came back. Elle said, I was not ready for the biblical eggs. Okay, girl, in this show, but I'm here for it. Say that word again. Spell it out. Do the synonyms, not the yeah. Do the claps for me. So Uncle George in his room discovered something as he's reading his books. He loved working that mind, and these books are integral to the story. These books are integral clues to what we can expect in this story. We have Wuthering Heights is a story about a new tenant who pays a visit to his landlord at a remote farmhouse. He meets a young woman, he meets a servant, and he meets an uneducated young man. And he reads some of the diary entries of a former inhabitant of his room and has a nightmare of her ghost, which begs to enter through the window. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. We have Jane Eyre. The story of Jane, who's a seemingly plain and simple girl, but she's battling through major life struggles. This book is famously broken up into 5 large chapters of her life, right? Battles, 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 who seemingly are much bigger than she is. We have the book, The Sea Wolf, which I think is just an ode to the Cthulhu, which I said in our last dissection, live below the sea, dormant until they're called to the earth, until they make their appearance. Right? A monster of the sea. But when he touches this book, The House on the Borderlands, when he touches this book, it opens a secret door. Now let's get back to what the fuck Samuel on, because he on some other shit. Exegesis. I don't like it, Elle. I hate it. I don't like it. Shenandoah says, this is Uncle George foreshadowing his fate. Well, let's hold on a little bit. Now we have reason to what Samuel's plan is, what his values and ideology are. We have a picture here representing Genesis 2:19, right? A photo of Eve in the Forbidden Garden with all the creatures God has to offer Adam. Samuel says, God gave Adam beasts, which he had the power to pick the name and hierarchy of each creature, right? We're talking about power to the original man, the first man, power to the bloodline, power to the namesakes. And if you want the foundation of white supremacy, this is it. We belong and y'all do not. We are the first and the only. Y'all are in the hierarchy of what we say. This is the foundation of supremacy. And if you go to the Bible, in the Old Testament, there are literal chapters dedicated to lineage. Adam, who begot this, who begot this, who begot this, who begot this, who begot this. Power in the bloodline. And you know what's fucked up? Black people do not have that. After the Black people who are affected by the transatlantic slave trade do not have that. We do not have access to our lineage. We do not have access to our bloodline. Ethnic cleansing, the erasure, right, of our identity. Atticus answering the question instead of Christina to Samuel, Adam put everything in its place. And this is what Samuel thinks he's here to do. Reorganize and clean up this mess. There's a quick little photo here of Titus Braithwaite, Tick's bloodline, and a Horatio Winthrop. So I wanted to look into it real quick. Winthrop and Horatio are both towns in Arkansas. And in Winthrop, this is where Rockefeller had a huge election campaign in the 1960s. Rockefeller, blue bloods, 1% elites, the whitest and richest bank owning family, the Rockefellers, the biggest bloodline, capitalistically, right? We're talking old money, new world order, getting everything under one bank. However, if we're sticking to the story, the H.P. Lovecraft series, Winthrop is also another huge house under the sons of Adam. And so Samuel says something really fucking crazy. He puts his hierarchy according to what he believes he was told from the Bible. God to man to woman to the lowliest creature. Look at the room. Look at the room and look at the order they're in. We have that photo from Genesis, God to man to woman to the lowliest creature. That was no mistake. Fuck you, Samuel. Fuck you, Samuel. Fuck you, Samuel. Right? And Christina joins in on the teachings of the Bible. Yep, that stupid troublemaking bitch Eve brought death. Well, now we have a reason for his sexism. Now we have a reason for him cutting Christina out the deal. She can't come in the room. Why is it men versus women? Well, is Eve to blame? Eve, the woman who fell into the entrapment of Satan in the form of a snake, biting into the original sin in the form of an apple. Eve to blame for the mess of the world. They said nirvana, we were in paradise, and it was turned into a mess with tribes and nations literally looking down on races, right? Well, he wants to get back. If he is the son of Adam, if he is Adam, he wants to return to paradise. Again, messaging of ethnic cleansing. Whites want to get the world out of here because they should be the only ones here. This is their earth. And Christina, when she speaks to Atticus a bit later, says, we would never align with the Klan. They're too poor. You could think about Trump versus America. Them poor whites thinking they'll one day be like their hero. It ain't going to happen, baby. He hates you. You've been brainwashed. And you thinking you're going to align with that man. He won't save you. Stupid. The trap is realized. Coming back to that original shot of Atticus looking as if he was in jail, the trap is realized. And in exchange for the awakening of Letty and George, they're all trapped in their rooms, and you hear them screaming. We have so many layers right here, y'all. We have so many layers right here. Cows used to birth Shoggoths, Christina being the mother, right? Can this mirror back in the day when white women were raising their little monsters on the bodies of their animal properties, raising their sons? But Christina says something here. They said, have you done this before? She says, it's my first time. I don't know why I want to pay attention to that, but it stuck out to me. And I'm thinking, like, if her father's Adam, if he's the first son of God, but she's here creating life. If she's a creator, he's a son, but she's a creator. Hold on to that. Keep a mental note. Hold on to that. Just hold on to it. So we go down to Letty's bedroom, trapped in here, and we saw this huge shot of Eve taking a fallacy in the form of a snake. Eve busting it while laying it down for that snake to enter her body. This is a dead giveaway. Who missed it? Because I sure did. Eve enamored by Satan disguised as a snake. She's about to be on that demon time. Demon. Don't get no demon dick, Eve. And Tick says to Letty, remember when we were getting out of that terrible moment and you were about to do something, the most brave thing I ever saw you do? You said, as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I'll dissect episode 1. She didn't motherfucking say that. You caught, okay, Abe RT caught the original Eve and Snake. You saw something coming? Because look, I dissected episode 1. I said, ooh, I don't think she said that. But what this premonition, this ghost who knocked on the window, giving Wuthering Heights, this premonition is a manifestation of her deepest fears and her secret desires. She want Teak down to the bed, y'all. She was trying to front. She want Teak down. What happened to Marvin, girl? But she want Teak down to the bed. And if this is a manifestation of her deepest fears, this premonition would know this quote that she forgot. She stuffed it on down because it was related to the trauma of being abandoned by her mother. She shoved the trauma down and it wasn't triggered until now. He said it to her. He triggered that moment for her, right? Her subconscious jumped out. She sure does, Shenandoah. She does have abandonment issues. This was an incredible shot here. The headless reflection. Why? Because his image is being used, but not his mind. Something else is controlling the projection of Teek's body in that house. And he's doing Morse code to communicate with his Uncle George that spells out wizards. This is a literal and figurative display of the wizards of the KKK. We are under the white supremacist spell. Well, TK having a good time. He out here fighting down. We saw this character named Gia. He sat in his father's apartment, Montrose's apartment, on the bed. He had that scary call, drowning in that red wall, right? His pain, whatever had happened, his pain from Korea manifested. Is this the same girl as the Red Princess? And I don't want to be the one who's making Asian women look alike. I do not know if this is, but it got to be the same girl, right? Two dreams merging into one. That first dream he had in the premiere, where this is his highest hopes to become a celebrated warrior with out of worldly protectors. But it's also his deepest fear, whatever this premonition of Gia is here to kill him. Uncle George is having a great time as well. Like, what the hell? Uncle George is having a great time. And he meets the premonition of Teek's mom, whose name is Dora. His daughter. Niggas ain't shit. I swear, for God, niggas ain't shit. You got a whole other Black woman who loves and adores you, and you name her child the name of your actual previous love. I swear. Didn't that happen to Blue Cantrell? Tia said, I read it. That was the same girl. Okay, so Gia is the Red Princess. It's the same girl. Oh, Shenandoah, if you watched the show with captions on, it said that the Red Princess was speaking the language of Adam and not Korean. Dang, I wish they wouldn't have blew it up like that. Oh, for episode 2, not the Red Princess. Gia is speaking the language of Adam, not Korean. This is why I do it live, because y'all be giving me as much as I give y'all. Wow. Wow. Hey, Barty said, niggas ain't shit, they just get older. Look, he tells Dora about the book, The House on the Borderland, the one that opened that portal for him to discover something in that mansion. And The House on the Borderland is about a man who escapes the house with his true love after it collapses on the heads of their enemies. Playing in our face, are they not? They are playing in our face. It's also quickly mentioned that Uncle George and Dora are from Tulsa. Skipping Watchmen. I ain't gonna lie, I would have took that snake. I ain't gonna lie, let's move on. It's giving slave bid. It's giving slave bid. You have a room where you could watch Letty being sexualized. This is something that the masters used to do. They used to make the women slaves have sex in front of them for their own joy and entertainment, right? Have sex in front of an audience, right? You have Atticus, the bull. It's a racist term they use to refer to Black men to test their strength, to test their fight. Masters used to for the entertainment, used to make the male slaves fight each other to the death for their entertainment. Right? What was Uncle George on? What was they watching? Was they even watching him? Only Christina was looking down to the Uncle George. Being vulnerable and beautiful and tender. She said, this born. What's up, Mark? Did I fuck up the links? I know it's me. I know it's me. Hi, Mosley. I know it was me this week. But look, I took accountability in the beginning. You missed it. You're going to have to watch the replay to get the accountability. I ain't apologizing again. Y'all know y'all would have took that snake. I don't know why y'all are judging me. Look. Now, Teak right here, when they are out of their prisons, they're invited to dinner. Whew, Teak tries to recollect his trauma from war. The one he swore wasn't bothering him earlier, right? But it's there. And George said, eh, eh. Let's talk about the effects of white supremacy, the spell of white supremacy. How Black men blame themselves for having to become the monsters that white supremacy forces them into, that makes them become these ravaged. It's for survival. You turned us this way and then blame us for being that way, right? Uncle George says you are good. The supremacy is a brainwash. They're premonitions, they're ghosts to affect our value and our self-esteem. That's how they win. They want to make us crazy. They want to terrorize us. You're good. Misha Green, I give all praises to the Most High. Your mind. Y'all saw me post this screenshot on social media, but I got dragged for attributing it to Jordan Peele. My bad. But y'all are right. This is Misha Green. It's giving the hat without the hat, because Christina and William don't do the costume. But they're just as much of a part of this cult and these traditions, these racist traditions, just as well. Now Samuel, reflecting his body at the dinner, reflecting the biblical stories at the dinner, serving his body, serving that organ, mirroring the flesh of Christ. Eat of my flesh, drink of my blood, right? But George discovered something when he pulled that book off the shelf. And what he discovered was the ancient dawn, this book of law, the rules of the son of Adam, right? And it's revealed that George was a Freemason, led by Prince Hall, who was an abolitionist. And we have the very real Prince Hall Freemasonry, which is a branch of North American Freemasonry for African Americans, founded by Prince Hall in 1784. Let me tell you something about reading niggas. All right, niggas is good sometimes. They good sometimes. Niggas is shit sometimes. They is shit sometimes. It's reading ass, then served everybody, right? And it's revealed that the men who are direct descendants of Titus are automatically members of the sons of Adam, meaning Tick belongs here. And not only does he belong here, because he is a direct bloodline of Titus, he has power over all the other sons. I almost said something terrible. Yes, morally Grage. Now, George was hiding that his mama was in the room. Cut him off to avoid talking about his vision with Dora. Look. Shenandoah says, notice Tick and George both acknowledged their traumas and faced it. Letty had to be coerced and was the only one we didn't see resolve their hallucination. Tick and George both acknowledged their traumas and faced it. Letty. Hey, you with me. Niggas is all right sometimes. Look. So now that we belong here, I'm going to go ahead and take my seat at the table. And something really incredible happens. His ancestral trauma serves him. It serves Atticus. His bloodline gives him power. Right? So he can tell all these sons of sons or whoever the fuck he was, get up and get the fuck out. And this is the complete opposite of where we were last time, where you had Letty, get up and we got to get the fuck out of here right now. Letty having to be like, we have to go. We are in danger. And now they back in Mass's house and they're safer than ever. There's actually our spot. Y'all get the fuck out. Complete opposite. Flim flam, flim flam, flim flam. The head of the table. Yes. Now, Tick got a little big for his britches. He got a little big for his britches. We see the ring that Titus wore in that portrait. Samuel saying, I ain't the one you could boss around. Let me tell you something right here and right now, right? And we remember those two names on that portrait. Winthrop, I already forgot. Horatio, and Titus Braithwaite. Now look, we said the Winthrop was another house in the sons of Adam. So you could be related to Titus all you want, but I'm not actually under him. I'm on this side. Loopholes. Got a little loophole. And what we learn here is that Tick's ancestor, Titus, used the book of magics from the book of names to make his body more powerful. This is like the supremacist thought that they are smarter, more advanced, more logical, more human, better, faster. This is this ingrained racism that white people praise themselves. I'm more powerful because this book told me so. And we're going back to these master slave themes with Samuel appointing Atticus's body. I'm going to use the power in your body that you have from your ancestor for my work. It's giving slavery. Your body will be used so I can come up. It's giving slavery. This is also back to dog whistling language that Black bodies are stronger. They can hold pain and strength and serve and be used, right? Dog whistling. Not a little too much dip on the ship. He sure did. Elsa, I would have observed first, but my ass would have been dead last episode. I ain't got the survival gene in me either, El. I'm with you. I would have got capped a long time ago. I ain't built for it. But look, we get up out of there. We got to hit the high tail. We got to find daddy and we got to go because this is too much, right? Samuel's on some other tip. This is too much. We got the overseer back. And we know that Montrose is here because we find a flag, but our dog whistling queen comes in, saved by Letty once again. Just look at her. Sitting there all stupid, head cracked, sitting there all stupid. George using the same themes that he used back from his room and back from the clues left by Montrose by reading those books of the Count of Monte Cristo. Finds a secret passageway, unveiling what? Not the Underground Railroad. Not the Underground Railroad. Montrose escapes, digging himself a tunnel, revealing his escape. And they find him. Where was you going, baby? We got a car. Let's go. And this song comes on by Nina Simone. Blackbird. And one of the lyrics in that song starts listing some names, right? Mirroring the book of names that strengthens the body of Atticus by way of bloodline and lineage. But Nina Simone also sings, Blackbird, you ain't ever gonna fly. Remember what Dora told Uncle George while she was dancing with him in that room? You gonna fly with your children? You could fly with your children now, you know that? It's giving ancestral. From The Wire. Well, the Blackbirds are in a cage, clearly. They are in the cage. This mansion, this Braithwaite mansion is the house on the borderlands, and we found the border. We found it. They get caught by the Braithwaites. The song changes to Marilyn Manson's Killing Strangers. We lose Letty. Right? Tick, under the illusion that this white lady won't help him, asks for the help of Christina, who, like white women, will always choose the side of white men who betray them over and over and over and over and over, who erase them and leave them behind over and over and over and over. Christina will stay aligned with them. Stupid. Another shot goes off. Pow! We have to prep Atticus for Samuel's plan. We're revisited by that original shot from the beginning. Atticus having to be the hunted, burned to the stake, tied to the stake. These white ladies mirroring the children who will grow up to be white ladies who harm other Black people. My God. Samuel's plan is revealed. He will use the power that Tick has in his body to pass through a portal to the Garden of Eden to obtain eternal life. This is something that Titus has already failed at. Titus Braithwaite has failed at this. So Samuel said, okay, well, you tried it and you failed. So I'm not going to use my actual body. I'm actually use the power that you tried to harness. I'm going to use somebody else's body so I can get there. That's supremacy for you, baby. That's supremacy for you, baby. I'm sorry, I'm not going to give y'all that little butt. Y'all ain't going to get that little butt from me down on this channel. Letty's alive. The Braithwaites, the power, the magic of the Braithwaites is proven because Tick can see that their magic works. Letty's alive. And if you would like to save your Uncle George, go ahead and do this plan. So not only does he mirror the witch hunt, he mirrors Christ, the sacrifice, the one who sacrificed his life and his body to give eternal life to his people. My Uncle George will make it if I give you my body. Christ-like. Let's think about how Black Americans even obtained Christianity through violence, through oppression, through white supremacy. Our ancestors' body given as a sacrifice to birth America. We remember that cow, how Christina was using the cow's body to birth her monster. Our bodies used as a sacrifice to birth the monster of America. We have Teek's ring, the Titus Braithwaite. I'm not going to say this name right. The Titus Braithwaite's ring, the house of the son of Adams, mirroring a Freemason ring. Let's get into George and Montrose because we got secrets. Ooh. We got secrets. George reminds Montrose that he used to draw. Let me tell y'all, Black folks, sometimes we forget our joy. Don't we? We forget our joy, don't we? This is generational trauma. Why'd you stop drawing? My daddy beat the black off my ass when he found me cheering and happy down to the bus station. Let me tell y'all where we're at. We're at a crossroads. We have on one hand in this mansion, white people honoring their fathers and stepping into power, their life and freedom based off their name, based off their lineage. They can step into more power and freedom. But what is the pain of Black men with their fathers? What have their fathers given them? Black men stepping into more darkness. Montrose not knowing how to love Teek, how to give affection, how to have an open heart. That's what he learned from his father. Right? And we also learn that Montrose and George come to an agreement to understand that Teek ain't Montrose's. They know. Montrose knows. Don't talk about. We said we wouldn't talk about it. Montrose, so we have maybe like a reason for his constant rejection of this man, because you ain't mine, but I'm gonna raise you like you are. Knowing that he belongs to George, confirmed. We said that, we called that in episode 1, the grandmama's the baby. Didn't we? George and Tick be looking too much alike. It was given lineage in episode 1. We guessed it. We so smart. We is so smart. We have the ultimate sacrifice paired with the poem. Of course, the title of its episode, Whitey's on the Moon. This is a Gil Scott-Heron classic from the 1970s. It's a spoken word piece and is a soundtrack to the ultimate sacrifice Tick makes using his body so Samuel and his white boys can have eternal life. And what this poem is doing is essentially breaking down Scott-Heron's Black family suffering while Whitey eludes this world. He elevates from this world. You on the moon while we're suffering right here. How you get to go to the moon when I gotta suffer and die here? This poem also condemning white affluence and upward mobility, right? This is the same thing that George and Letty was celebrating at the beginning when they was moving on up. This poem condemns it because it costs the bodies and the expense of Black and brown communities. In order for them to have, we have to lose. Bigly, huge, right? We have to lose bigly. Let's meet our ancestor, Hannah, who arrives. And come on, Misha Green, she says you will be saved by another woman. All these women are heroes. Hannah, the very pregnant Hannah, comes in, saves the day. Tick using the power in his body to turn his enemies into stone. Isn't that a biblical thing? Didn't that happen in the Bible somewhere? God will make enemies your footstool and they turn to stone or something like that. I don't know. It feels familiar. I don't know. Titus's power was used to destroy Atticus. But meeting his enslaved ancestor empowers him. Titus's bloodline was used to harm. His Black bloodline was used to save. Come on, somebody. We have legacy. Burn it down the way I have. Follow my lead, right? Hannah empowered by the fire she set years ago. Atticus following her legacy by destroying the mansion. It was fire when you did it. It will be stone when I do. I almost gave a shout. I almost gave a shout. Mark says, white man wants eternal life at the direct expense of Black life. The more things change. This side of 2020, imagine. Imagine. Oh, Elle says maybe that biblical verse was, if you look back, you'll turn to stone. Girl, I don't know. Shenandoah says, I got Black Adam and Eve from this. The door to Eden looked like the upside down V, the birth of the nation from a Black woman. Go ahead and do that, Shenandoah. Absolutely, because they weren't pairing Eve with Letty throughout this episode. And Tick is the son of Adam. So if you can destroy this nation, maybe you do step into your own paradise. I don't know. It could be all that. It could be all that, right? Here's the thing that really got me. When they went to town earlier, George thought the only jail in town was that big tower where the overseer was with her dogs. He said it gotta be the only prison. This is the only building here made of stone. No, it wouldn't. That mansion was made of stone too. Montrose was the prisoner in the Tower prison. Y'all were the prisoners in the Great White Mansion. Let's go a step further. Montrose, before they arrived, Montrose was the only Black person in town and the only Black person in prison. The only person in prison. What do that look like? Is that not giving our prison industrial complex? We make up 12% of this goddamn country, but we the ones in jail. Out of all the damage they do, we are the ones in jail. That's what it looks like. It's about 30 of y'all in town. Montrose was the only Black man that said, I know where you belong. And he took him there. What we can learn from this episode, again, I found this in an incredible article. White supremacy is a spell. We can break it by remembering our ancestors, our history, and the truth of Mabawa. Elle started the song earlier. I wanted to bring it back. They'll never take my power. They'll never take it by remembering who you are. We're getting too much good content. We got Black Panther, we got The Lion King, we got The Gift, we got Lovecraft Country. If we don't wake up after this, y'all, let's just all go back to sleep. It's exhausting. You know what I mean? It's exhausting. I have a question. Where the hell is Christina and William? William dipped. Did y'all see him leave after dinner? He said, it's getting too hot for me. It's getting too hot for me. Where's Christina and William? And let's come back to that God tier. Let's come back to that creator tier. If Adam is dead and Christina creates life and controls the monsters, the Shoggoths, it's giving, we're going to have to fight her later. I think she's going to be super powerful and she's going to be a headache. Christina's the one setting these fucking borders and shields and controlling monsters, even though she's getting played by her family. But if you kill the daddy, and people were critiquing this episode because they're like, why would you kill such a powerful leader so fast? Christina is there. And listen, as much as the women are going to become the heroes, Black women are becoming the heroes in the story. You think the white women ain't going to be the villains? Hypothesizing. I ain't read the book. I don't know. Hypothesizing. Whatever. Elsa, they remember what happened last time. They said no smoke. How do I say goodbye to what we had? Good times will make us laugh, always in the mind. That's too deep. I can't get there. Goodbye, George. Take me to your river. I want to know. Beautiful song, River Plays by Leon Bridges. And then Misha Green, writing and directing this series, strayed from the book by killing off Uncle George, who never dies in the book. That was something that I had to learn in my research. He never dies. So something here. She's doing something, right? Courtney says, Christina is giving Susan B. Anthony. Ooh, Shenandoah says, did Christina help Teak or help herself? Knowing when she was giving our episode, I would imagine the latter. Mosley said, Jonathan Major's acting is just chef's kiss. He gave the ugly cry. That lip curled, that nose went up. He gave the ugly cry. He said, yep, he did it. Kaylin said, Raphael Sadiq didn't have to do that, but he did, didn't he? Always providing the best music for our favorite Black TV shows. Now I want to do something here before we get out, because there's lessons to be learned. We are not done. I thought we was, but look, I'm gonna bring it back. Here we go. Let's get into color theory, because y'all thought I forgot. Don't sleep on me. Let's get into color theory. Top of the show, Uncle George opening in brown, Atticus in yellow. Reflecting his Uncle George, giving a life for a life in the same color. To save your life, I will be your sacrifice, mirroring him. By the end of the episode, we have a different mirror. Well, we have to have an exchange. If George goes and my father enters, who do I follow? Who do I protect? Who becomes a new person? Atticus in yellow, matching the way his father ended in yellow. Look at that circle of life. Look at that circle of life. Look at it. They swapped out. We ain't done yet. Last one. This is what we call reflection. This is what we call reflection. You give to me as I give to you. Look at them. Now, there's something special about this town, Arkham, and we said it in our last dissection, and I'll bring it back up for us again. Uncle George, while Teak was looking through books in the bookstore, Uncle George mentions that Arkham is the home of the well-known H.P. Lovecraft story, which stars the main character, Herbert West, aka the Reanimator. who hails from this fictional town of Massachusetts. And the 1921 story tells the tale of a scientist who finds a way to reanimate the dead, as we've seen with Letty. To reanimate the dead. So maybe there's some good news here. Maybe there's some good news here. And remember, Uncle George's wife says she wants to start traveling next. She wants to start getting on the road next. Well, now she has the motivation, the emotional drive to step out that house, using her husband's green book to travel safely, the Safe Negro Travel Guide. Maybe there's hope here. Okay? So let's not lose hope. Thank y'all so much for joining me. The episode 2 dissection. What a pleasure it is to dive in deep into this with y'all. We only on episode 2, y'all. Ooh, we only on episode 2. It's gonna be so much. Episode 3 looks good. It's called Holy Ghost. We playing with demons and spirits. The church. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Again, for everybody who missed it in the beginning, next week is my birthday of September 5th. I believe I will be taking off from Boozy Brunch Sunday, September 6th, which would mean the following 2 weeks Sunday, we're going to be doing the VIP Boozy Brunch that we missed last month because we started these dissections, which means when we come back in 2 weeks, I'm going to have my patrons who have accessed the VIP tier join me live for the week's largest topics in Black culture and discuss live to stream to everyone. Tomorrow I will be back. We're shifting our dissection days to Mondays. Tuesdays was I May Destroy You. Now that this comes on Sunday nights, we're coming back to Monday. So I will actually see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST to discuss episode 3 because it comes on tonight. And now we're back to our regularly scheduled program. Huh? Does that work? That's cool. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Man. I can't live tweet tonight's episode because I don't be understanding it in the moment. But I'll get there. If I see something cool, I'll tweet it. Thank you for the early birthday wishes. All right. I wish you guys an incredible weekend. Let's all watch Lovecraft Country tonight. Let's reconvene tomorrow and every Monday for Lovecraft Country dissections. Thank you so much for joining. You guys are incredible. See you later. Take me.